Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're making another viral recipe. This is an absolutely delicious pasta baked casserole. You gotta try this one. Now, I did a viral chicken casserole a while back, and some people were like, why are you calling it a viral recipe? Well, this recipe has gone viral. Everybody's doing their own version of it, and of course I'm gonna do my own version of it, but it's a really quick, easy dinner, and it's absolutely delicious. Everybody in your family is going to love it. They're going to want you to make it again and again and again, and you can add all sorts of stuff to it and, you know, turn it into your own thing, and you can do everything from scratch if you want to. But if you do it like this, you can have dinner on the table in less than 30 minutes. So what you need is a pound of pasta. Now, everybody just about's using spaghetti. But when I do stuff like this, I like to use something like a peony or a ziti or a rotini, because that kind of grabs the sauce, and it also makes it easier to eat. It gives it a little more body, it's easier to eat, and it holds the sauce. You need 2 jars of sauce. You need 1 jar of spaghetti sauce and 1 jar of Alfredo sauce. And you can make it homemade. If you've got time and you want to, make it all homemade. You need 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese, or something else if you prefer. You can mix some Parmesan in with it if you want to, and about a pound of ground beef or turkey or chicken or whatever you want to ground in it. But about a pound of ground beef is what I'm using. And I think I actually have about 1.5 pounds. That's just what size the pack was. You need at least a pound. And we're going to brown our ground beef. Now you can cut up some peppers and onions to go in this. And that adds a little more vegetables to the dish if you want to. But if you don't have time to, just season it with some salt and some pepper, maybe a little garlic powder. And we're not going to put that much salt in our pasta. I've got some water over here boiling for my pasta. Put some pepper here on my hamburger. And I thoroughly salted that hamburger too there. A little onion powder, and like I said, if you want to cut up some peppers and onions in this, some bell peppers and onions, that would be delicious. Some fresh garlic, whatever. But if you're in a hurry, this works. And we're going to go ahead and cut our oven on and get it preheating to about 350, because we are going to put this in the oven long enough to brown it. You're not going to need to put it in the oven more than like 15 minutes. And if it's summertime when you're making this and you don't want to heat the house up, just put it under the broiler and brown it for a couple of minutes. All right, our pasta water is boiling. I think I'm going to use this one today, the ziti. And normally I would have a bigger pot, but this stove, that's all it's going to handle. You do want to wait until your water is at a full boil before you add your pasta to it. Okay, now you want to cook your pasta to the, like, whatever the time range is for cooking it on your box. Where's my time? Oh, there it is. This says 9 to 10 minutes. So I don't want to cook this any longer than 9 minutes, because it's going to continue to cook in the oven after we add all of our sauce to this. So once you get it in there and it starts to come back to a boil, I'm going to set my timer for 9 minutes. All right, get your casserole dish ready. You are going to want a deep, at least 9 by 13 casserole dish. If you've got one of the big lasagna pans, you can also use it, but this is not going to fit in a small casserole dish. So make sure you have a deep one. Spray it with a little non-stick sprayer, wipe it with some butter or oil or something like that. While this is cooking and we're getting ready to layer this in our casserole dish, let's talk just a minute about how much this meal costs. Now, pasta and pasta sauces are some of those things that if you've got a family, you should really have stocked in your pantry. And you should only buy them when they are on sale. I got the pasta, one of the local grocery stores did a buy one get one free sale on the store brands, and I got it for about 80 cents a box. Now that's a pound, and pasta usually has an expiration date of 2 or 3 years, and then it's good for at least a year after that. The same thing with the pasta sauce. It's good for at least a year, the expiration date, and then you can use it several months after the expiration date. The FDA's new guidelines have really stretched it out there, but you can use it for quite a while after the expiration date, several months, and it's fine. And I bought this, it was a buy 5 save 5 deal, so it was like $1.79. The cheese, even, I did a buy one get one free sale at a local grocery store, and it was like $1.79. It was less than $2 at the buy one get one free sales. And cheese has an expiration date usually of several months, so only buy that stuff when it's on sale, and it will save you an absolute fortune. So we've got less than $4 here with the pasta, $5. The cheese, we're at about $7, and you can get a pound of ground beef still. Look for the sales. You can always find some grade of ground beef for around $4 a pound. Now, sometimes you can get it cheaper. One of our local grocery stores does a special where they do a pick 5 meats, and you can get it for $15. Which means you're getting a pound for about $3. And then they'll do a sale where you can buy the big packs of ground chuck for $2 a pound if you buy store brand items. So, you know, really shop for that stuff. But even if you do the $4 a pound meat, we're looking at like $11 for this casserole. And this will feed a really big family, or it'll feed a family of 4 at least 2 times. So, you know, that's not bad. Way, way, way cheaper than even the cheapest fast food you can get. And it's quick and easy. So take advantage of those grocery store sales. Less than $11 you can make this. You can probably get it in there around $8 or $9 if you shop all the sales. Once your pasta's done, we're going to drain it. And since our pot's so small, I'm going to add my Alfredo sauce in here and heat it up. Now, if my pot was bigger, I would have dumped my Alfredo sauce back in the pot and heated it up with my pasta. But it's not, so I'm going to do it this way. And like I said, this little bitty stove eye here, or little bitty stove, that's about the best I can do. All right. And I'm going to adjust the grease in my hamburger. Get some of it out of there because I don't want this super greasy. I mean, there's plenty enough grease in the sauces. This don't have a ton of fat in it. It was some pretty lean meat. And now I'm going to dump my spaghetti sauce in here and heat this up. And what this does is this means we don't have to put it in the oven for very long at all, because everything that's going into the oven is going to be very hot. All right, everything is boiling and bubbling and hot. So now we're just going to layer it in our casserole dish. Put our pasta in, and whatever kind of pasta you got will work. I mean, there really is nothing that won't work. We're going to put our Alfredo on top of our pasta and kind of mix the Alfredo into the pasta. And then we're going to layer the rest of the stuff on top of this. All right, that's good. Spread that layer there out a little bit. And now we're going to put our bubbly hot spaghetti sauce and ground beef on top of this. This already smells absolutely delicious. Alex heard about this one, and she's a pasta fan and definitely an Alfredo fan. And she was like, oh my gosh, together? With the marinara and the Alfredo. She was really excited about this. And like I said, this is delicious. You've got to try it. Kind of spread this all around. You could, even if you wanted to, dump some vegetables in here. But what I would do is maybe serve this with a salad, some breadsticks, or maybe just some fresh fruit for dessert. And now the good part, we're putting the cheese on top. And this is really the only reason why you have to put it in the oven, is you want to get that cheese kind of brown. So like I said, if it's summertime and you don't want to heat up the house and you're in a big hurry, just turn the oven on broil and stick it under there for a minute. Or if you don't have an oven, you could just layer this in a skillet. I'm going to put the whole 2 cups on here. You can put whatever you want to, but you could layer this in a skillet and just put a lid on the skillet and let it sit there, and the cheese would melt. And we've done skillet casseroles like that before. It's not hard at all, so you don't have to even put it in the oven. Anyway, it's in there, it's all layered. You could put some breadcrumbs on top of this, or some of the little onions on top of it. You know, the fried onions would be good, or anything else you like to top casseroles with. But I'm just doing the basic today, and I changed the pasta because, like I said, I like it better with a pasta that will hold some of that sauce. And it's also much easier to dip out and eat than the spaghetti pasta. In the oven, 350 until it's brown. If you're in a hurry, turn it up to 400 till it's brown. While we're waiting to get our delicious pasta bake out of the oven, some of you might have noticed the big tin back here behind me. If you've missed our live stream on Valentine's Day 2024, we celebrated our 10th birthday. The Hillbilly Kitchen was started on February 14th, 2014, and we just passed 10 years. So we did a big live stream, and we are still waiting to hear from Wisdom of the Word about our lunch invitation. So if you lost internet or something and didn't hear the rest of the live stream, email me. We're waiting to hear from you. And if you missed that, we did have a good time. Alex was with me, and we talked, and I told the story about how the Hillbilly Kitchen and stuff got started and how it came to be. Even told how Alex ended up working for me, and you know why she's here now. But that's in our lives. If you want to go watch that, we would appreciate it. And we really are glad that you've all been a part of this for 10 years. You've made the 10 years possible. And I want to share a verse with you because that's part of what the Hillbilly Kitchen is. Part of it is including our Lord in it. This one sort of spoke to me. I don't know, I've kind of been under a little bit of conviction, and I think maybe it might speak to a lot of folks, but it's Ezekiel 44:23. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. We as Christians should be set apart from the world. Our speech should be different. The way we treat each other should be different. We should reflect Christ. And I heard a preacher back, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. He said, if it's not of God, it's against God. If it's not something Christ would do, it's not something you should do. So as Christians, we do need to learn to discern between the clean and the unclean. And we need to know the difference between the holy and the profane. If it is not of God, it is against God. And like I said, I've kind of been under conviction myself, and I thought maybe it was something that I could share, get some of y'all praying about and working toward, because as Christians, we really should be different than the rest of the world. And I also want to ask you to please say a special prayer for Alex. She's not sick or anything, but she does have something going on, and I know she would really, really appreciate your prayers about it. I'm not going to say what it is, but I think maybe we might be doing another live stream real soon, and I'll let her share. But I know she would appreciate your prayers, so if you would say a special prayer for Alex, I would appreciate it, and so would she. Now let's see what this viral pasta bake looks like. See why everybody's making it. Oh my goodness, this is bubbly and golden, and it tastes as good as it looks. But did you ever see anything that looks quite that good? You do want to let this sit for maybe 5 minutes while well, you ain't gonna have to call them to the table if you pull this out of the oven. They're gonna smell it from the far ends of the house, even from outside. But let it cool about 5 minutes before you scoop it out. That kind of gives the sauce time to set and the cheese time to set. It'll still be stringy in 5 minutes, but give it just a few minutes before you scoop it out, because you do want all your sauces. You know, you layered the Alfredo and the pasta sauce, the marinara sauce in there. It's all pasta sauce. The marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce, whatever you got, and any kind of work. Use a flavor you like. But give this one a try. Like I said, on the table, less than 30 minutes, and around $10 to feed 8 people. I mean, this will feed a crowd. And it's got the vegetables in it already in the sauce. It's got the protein in it. And it's got the, you know, the cheese and the meat and stuff. Absolutely delicious. Save it. It's good for winter and summer, because you can just put it under the broiler in the summertime. Thank you so much for joining us again in the Hillbilly Kitchen. If you have not already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe before you leave. Share all of our videos with your friends, and until next time, remember to put God first.